Alright, today we're going to do a 3-for-1 video. These are the Marvel's The Avengers 3 3/4 figures from Wave 2. Wave 2 of the 3.75 inch figures from the movie toy line. We have the movie series. All 3 figures are movie series. Iron Man Fusion Armor Mark 7, Shield Launcher Captain America, and Shock Strike Thor. I've been procrastinating to do this video because I want to do them all together in one video. He was the last one I picked up because I couldn't find one with decent paint apps. If you follow my Twitter post, I got this guy after going through 21 different toy stores. Finally found one with acceptable paint apps. He probably has the worst quality control issues amongst the 3. This one, yeah, some quality issues here and there, but generally a lot easier to find an acceptable one for this one. So anyway, let's get right to it. The figures overall are great in terms of sculpting detail. They're very well sculpted. Paint scheme, the design of the paint for the figure, great, but they do suffer a lot of quality issues on the paint, and as a lot of reviewers have already mentioned, they do suffer from the reduction of articulation from previously released Marvel movie figures. But, you know, it's a give and take. Get a good sculpt, less articulation, higher price, yeah. If you're interested in these figures, you might want to rethink what you really want to get out of them. If you're big fans of the movie and you just need a souvenir, they're great pickups. If you are just the typical or the casual Marvel figure collector, then stay away from these. You'd probably be better off with the Marvel Universe line, or maybe get the 6-inch or 7-inch Marvel Select figures, 6-inch Marvel Legends figures. It really depends on what you want to get out of the figures. Anyway, so here they are with the Hulk. Hulk smash. I love that line. Anyway, so that's that. Quick look at the packaging. Here they are. Everyone has a try me window. This is for Iron Man, where you can spin his thing. I'll show that later. Captain America doesn't have a try me window, and Thor doesn't have a try me window. That's surprising. Anyway, here they are. And you can see them photographed with their ginormous gimmicky weapons and the rest of the assortment. Alright. Let me show you the weapons first. Oops. Sorry. What was that? Let me just fix my props right here. Alright. For Thor, you got the Shock Strike hammer weapon. It's basically just a lightning gun that launches his hammer. I thought this would be cool if it were just the hammer that actually launched. That would have been, I thought that would have been really cool, but they actually molded the hammer inside a lightning bolt of sorts, I guess for safety issues and whatnot. So that's that. There's a button right here. The lightning molded on it is nice, but the whole gimmick weapon is really just for kids. It has a peg, which if he did have a peg hole at the back, you could stick it in as a backpack. He can hold it on his hand, or if you didn't want him holding it, you can flip the peg and out comes the clip, which you can clip on his wrist, which I don't want to do because I don't want to risk scratching the paint. So that's Thor. Captain America has the shield launcher. He is in fact shield launcher Captain America. Works like most of the Lego, I can't remember the toy line right now, but those really Barakis, those I can't remember the name. Bionicles. There you go. Bionicle weapon launcher. So there is a clasp right here for the shield, and this button really just pushes it. So when you clip on the shield, enough kinetic energy, potential energy is built, and then when you push it, it gets translated into kinetic energy. But enough of the science lesson. Let's just see how it works. Pretty cool. Pretty nice, actually. This shield is actually painted a lot better than this one. Huh. Go figure. And there's the Avengers logo. And finally, Tony Stark's, the Mark VII's weapon is really, it's a shield. Or a pulsar shield, or a fusion armor shield, whatever. The box says it's a saw blade. Yeah, right, whatever. You can attach it as a backpack, just like the rest of the other weapons. I forgot to mention the one for Cap. He can actually hold it right there, have it clipped on his forearm, or have it clipped on his back, like that. It is possible to, yeah, stupid, I know. Okay. For Tony, you can clip it here. He can sort of hold it on his hand, or you can clip it, which I don't want to do because, again, I don't want to scratch the paint. It's a spinning thing. I think this is probably my favorite amongst the three. I don't know, big Iron Man fan. I was thinking, why the hell would they do this? And if you look closely, it kinda resembles the. I'm sorry to say any spoilers right here, but if you've seen the movie, the opening scenes, where Dr. Selvig has the machine where the Tesseract overreacts. It looks like that part of the machine where the Tesseract was placed, and where Nick Fury takes it away and puts it in a suitcase. It kind of looks like that chamber, kind of, but yeah, whatever. So that's that. Let's start with my favorite amongst the three, Iron Man. Big Iron Man fan, I won't deny it. Loved it since. This is probably my favorite among the Avengers. The only guy with no superpowers, well, one of the few guys, no superpowers. Very, very well chosen paint apps. Absolutely love it. Very, very representative of the Mark VII. Here he is with the Iron Man 2 Mark VI. As you can see, a lot of fading happening here and there. Paint apps, much better. Articulation, this one is the winner, because this one only has ball jointed neck, no torso waist articulation, ball hinge shoulders and elbows, no wrist articulation, ball hinge hips, and the hips, they've actually fixed it. You can move it up and down, in and out, which you don't have to fidget with it like this one. It's got a thigh swivel and a ball hinge knee. So that's that. Very, very cool. Absolutely love it. The reason I had to go through 21 different stores just to get this figure was because quality issues are abundant for this figure. First thing you'll notice is the arc reactor. Sometimes it's off center, sometimes it has scratches. Next thing you'll notice is the face. It's got a lot of smudging, improperly painted eyes. The chin is not painted well. This one is the best one I could find. It looks really great, but everybody else just has awful, god-awful paint apps, smudging here and there on the face. Next thing you will notice is the silver applications on the figure. Like this one has a little bit of scratching there, or red paint right there, but you will notice that these two silver paint apps on his shoulders are off, misaligned. Some of them here, they'll have smudging here and there. Next you'll notice the gold paint apps here and there. Some are off centered and here and whatnot. Some have scratching, some have bleeding with the red, and they turn out pink, and that's about it. Minor paint apps are some faded, very lightly coated bits and pieces of red, but this one was the best one I could find. It looks really great on camera, but had a tough time just tracking down one with decent paint apps. So that is Tony Stark's Mark VII armor. Very, very cool. I wish that, if Hasbro wanted a big gimmicky toy with this one, I wish they would have just added that. But they couldn't. It would have been a spoiler. Anyway, you know what I mean. Next, my second favorite, Captain America. Very, very cool figure. Very accurate to how he looked like in the movie. Almost the same articulation as Tony, but with difference is he's got double hinged knees instead of ball hinged knees. He's got a removable shield. This one doesn't peg into anywhere. It just fits on either hand. I missed out on that one. I didn't actually see it, but there is some smudging here and there, some scratches. If you can see it, it kind of sucks. I missed out on that, but I was focusing mainly on the star, on the torso paint apps. If you're trying to get one from the shelf and you're trying to pick one that was the best paint apps, make sure first thing you want to do is check the A. Make sure it's centered. Then check how the mask is painted. It has to be full. Check how the eyes are painted. Make sure they don't bleed into the mask. And finally, the star. Make sure it's centered. Everything else is just fine. If you want a closer look at how they did the new ball hinge on the hip, one leg has actually a peg, and a ball and a peg that pegs into sort of like a chamber. This is like a flask. It's a chamber right there. Where the peg fits in. So they move like one piece, but they can move independently because this one is like the hollow chamber where this one has the peg, and all of them are sort of in between the crotch. They're sort of skewered into the crotch. So very, very interesting, very ingenious. The only drawback is it's very difficult to pose the right leg for obvious reasons. He did have a gun. He has a silver gun, which I probably dropped somewhere, which is going to be a pain right now. But he did have a silver gun. It's a silver handgun, typical G.I. Joe, or it's his handgun. I don't know where it is. If I do find it, I'll do an update video. But he has a gun. It fits nicely on his hand. It's a silver gun. Darn it, how could I lose it? Anyway, it fits in the holster, it fits in his hand. But we didn't really see him use that in the movie, so I'm not going to show it now. So very, very cool. Same articulation except for the double hinge knees. And finally, Thor. Oh, sorry. Before that. Oh, okay. This one has the same gun. It looks exactly like this. The first Avenger movie. It's exactly like that. I must have dropped when I moved them from the shelf. But this is exactly the gun he had, which is not bad. It's a great addition. Although I don't recall Steve Rogers having a gun in the Avengers movie. But well, it's a great addition. I'm not complaining. So anyway, that's that. So here is the Captain America movie figure. Between the two, this one has better paint design, probably even better quality control. But in terms of a better figure, this one is really outclasses this one in terms of being the better figure. So it's really up to you. And finally, we get Thor, Odin's son. This is the new costume. There is another Thor in Wave 1 that had the helmet, but this one is a more movie-accurate one. He comes with his hammer, as always. Comes with a non-removable cape. Or is it? No, it's non-removable. I don't want to risk it. Or is it? Yes, it's probably removable, but I'm not going to risk it. Articulation is the same as Captain America, as you can see. There's the ingenious ball hinge joint. Exactly same as Captain America with a double hinge knee. As Thor, as Iron Man, except for the knee. Despite the limited articulation, it's still a good figure to pose. There are some poses you can do, but mostly facing front and just a little bit sidewards. But very cool. Here he is with the Mighty Avenger Thor figure from the movie. It's got a bigger hammer. He's probably taller, yes. He's a lot more in scale. This one is just way too small to be Thor, to fit with the other figures. This one is a good height, so I like it. The only problem I have with them, well, paint apps, some quality issues, but very minimal. But they are blatant, so most of the figures will have a lot of scratching on the discs, on the center torso, and the main gripe I have is really how the beard and eyes and hair have been painted. Sometimes he looks as though he has too much foundation. Sometimes the beard looks so fake. Sometimes the hair does not have enough details, and sometimes the eyes look cross-eyed or skewed to the left or right. Other than that, all the other parts are painted well. The other gripe I have about this figure is they can never get Chris Hemsworth correctly. They got it correct with the 7-inch or 8-inch, sorry, 8-inch figure. See, look at that guy. Dashing, handsome, young, dashing, handsome god of thunder. Look at that. Very nice. But with the 3 3/4 figures, this one looks like Kenneth Branagh. This one looks like Sean Bean. And if they shaved his head, he would probably look like Joss Whedon. I'm sorry, Marvel. Is it really that difficult to get this face sculpt? I mean, to shrink this face sculpt? They could have shrunk that, just used computer lasers and just shrink it, but they didn't. This one is okay, I suppose. This is probably the closest, the better one. Obviously, this one's better, but it still looks like Sean Bean to me. Boromir. So there you go, folks. A 3-in-1 review. Again, as I said, get them if you love the movie and you like the scale and you're not a posability junkie. But other than that, yeah, just if you're looking for a lot, for value for money and really better figures, go stick with the Marvel Universe figures if you're just a casual Marvel collector. There you go, folks. I hope you liked this video. If you did, even if you didn't like the characters or the figures, but if you liked the video, please add it to your favorites. Click the thumbs up icon at the bottom. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/fxfranz for my latest toy purchase and upcoming reviews, so you guys don't have to keep asking me if I've purchased this or that, if I've already bought this figure and that. They're all on Twitter. If you'd like to see more of my videos on YouTube, please subscribe to my other channel, Chefatron. There you go, folks. The Avengers movie figures. They are movie series figures, 3 3/4 line. Iron Man Fusion Armor Mark 7, the Shield Launcher Captain America, and the Shock Strike Thor, all from Wave 2. Thanks for watching.